you live from Synergy Fitness, 226 West Park Avenue in Long Beach. We have another great show planned here. Coming up a little later in the show, Steve Adelson, the Long Beach Jazz Fest, 8th annual, will be coming up at 8:15. So all you jazz lovers and music lovers, we have a lot to cover, and if you love music, you're going to love Steve Adelson and the Jazz Fest. But starting off, the Michelle O'Neill Foundation. It was great being on the beach, and it's my pleasure to welcome back Carol and Rick O'Neill. Carol, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much, Howie. I'm glad to be here.
Carol, I said this last week, but you weren't here. I'm sure you were exhausted, so I want to re-say it because, to me, I loved every minute. I was on the beach from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock. I love the fact that so many people in Long Beach were passionate about contributing to the Michelle O'Neill Foundation. The volleyball at the end of the day was spectacular. You know, all the volunteers and the sponsors were great, but to me, my favorite part of the whole day was when you got up and introduced that little boy, Danny Mulvey. And he was a 14-year-old boy that has battled cancer his entire life, and when he got up and said, because of the Michelle O'Neill Foundation, that he was able to go to a special camp, to me that was all it was about. And to me that was my absolute favorite part of the whole event. So Carol, I'm going to put you on the spot with that one.
I absolutely have to agree with you. I think the opening ceremonies, that was my very favorite part. And little Danny Mulvey called me about 2 weeks prior to the tournament and asked me if it would be possible for him to come down the day of the tournament to say thank you to everybody for making it possible to send him to this camp for children with cancer. He and his dad went in July, and his father was absolutely so thankful too, because he was able to do things with his son that he had never been able to do before. Danny has been battling cancer since he's 4, so he hasn't been able to, you know, do things, father-son things with his dad. And when they went out to Bozeman, Montana, they were able to whitewater raft and horseback ride and sleep under the stars and drink cowboy coffee. And it was just such a wonderful experience. And for us to have this child asked to come down, it was thrilling, it was meaningful, it was heartwarming. And between the bagpipes and little Danny, I think the opening ceremony just set such a beautiful tone for the entire day.
Absolutely, it was a great event, and I want to thank my great friend Tommy Mundy. He got so many great interviews. Everyone in Long Beach knows Tommy. He's worked so hard behind the scenes every week to get great guests, and he's so passionate about the O'Neill family. So it was great. Couldn't have done it without Tommy. And Rick, every year it gets bigger and bigger. Talk about an overview of how successful this year's event was a few weeks ago.
This year was definitely our biggest year. It was absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's one of the hardest days that I work. I've been in the chiropractor every other day now for my back, pumping all that stuff on the stand. Like I said, that opening ceremony, I'm happy to have my glasses and visor on, because I'm telling you, I broke down. It was amazing. This year was definitely the best, and I know everybody here had a great time. I was watching this.
Yeah, we had a great time filming all the interviews on the beach, and but the bottom line is it keeps your sister's memory alive, and all the money goes to such a good cause. And to me, it speaks volumes about the people in Long Beach, that they'll never forget Michelle, and they want to do good things, and it's what makes this town so special.
Yes, the energy that was, exhibited on the beach was just so amazing. People, all we hear from people is that it's their favorite day of the year. They just want to come to the Michelle O'Neill volleyball tournament, to be together. We happen to have a spectacular day weather-wise, and it is such a weather-dependent event, but the weather was gorgeous, and families, people come with their families, they ride their bikes, they park their bikes on the boardwalk, they bring their baby carriages, and it's just It's sort of like the last shot at summer. It's like one big beach party. If you can imagine about 4,000 people at a beach party. And with that amount of people, there were no incidents, thank God no accidents, and it's just such a pleasant day. It's a wonderful way to celebrate life. And this year it happened to fall on 9/11. And one of the firemen who was killed in 9/11, his brother plays in the tournament, and he actually thanked us for not changing the date because he felt this was a beautiful way to celebrate, on the beach, under God's sky with friends, and honor their memory and celebrate life.
For people listening, and especially in Long Beach, where so much goes into planning this event, talk about all the hard work that goes into putting it together. Such a major event, with so many sponsors, so many people, so much has to go right. Talk about all the hard work behind the scenes making this event so special.
It actually takes, we start again, like maybe another 2-3 weeks, we get together and we plan for the whole year. Everybody gets together and it's my sister Caroline, the quote is, "I'm not the president." She's really the backbone behind this thing, and I'm more like the muscle. She's the backbone. She does like the, yeah, it takes every sponsor to Outback and vitamin water, and you gotta. It's in the entire Long Beach sanitation. It's a year-long process. It's tough.
Yeah. And Sean, we only have a couple minutes left, but so many people really helped with this. In the last few minutes of this segment, I want to mention a few people that really, really went beyond the call of duty to really help make this such a special event.
Thank you, Howie. There are so many people, but I would have to say our core committee, which is made up of friends of Michelle that have been with us from the very, very beginning, and they do it with love and they do it tirelessly, and we have many meetings beforehand. The day of the event, they work long and hard from sun up to sundown, but there are other people in addition to our committee. Jimmy Lorenzo, who actually introduced sound to our event, he is one of the strong supporters of our foundation. Joe Brand, who is our Commissioner of Parks and Recreation. Without Joe, we just could not operate. We have a volunteer DJ, E.J. Weston. He volunteers his time. Scott McGurdy of the Outback Steakhouse comes down with his staff and grills hamburgers and chicken sandwiches for hours. In fact, he told me this year he served 850 hamburgers and chicken sandwiches within the first 50 minutes. So you can just imagine the amount of work involved with that. We have our t-shirt sponsors, and we have a host of corporate and family sponsors. If you notice, there were banners lining the boardwalk, probably about 75 banners, and those are they all represent donations from families and from corporate sponsors to help us help the children.
Okay, on that note, we have to end this segment. Thanks to John. Thanks to Tony Money. Coming up after the break, the Long Beach Jazz Fest with Steve Adelson. She's back, the Long Beach Lady Hockey Maven. All right, more fun. This is Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie, and coming up after the break, Steve Adelson, Long Beach Beef Fest. More fun coming up after the break.